Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, we'll explain why Torrance firefighters are on the roof of this restaurant.
And neighborhoods host block parties in the name of safety. We'll take you there.
Then we'll tell you why these teens are celebrating their summer jobs.
And we'll introduce you to students learning about surfing and learning about life. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. If you saw Torrance firefighters on Hawthorne Boulevard recently, the department had important reasons for being there. Reporter Alexa Sita explains.
Check out these Torrance firefighters in action on the roof of this local building. But no one is in danger because this isn't a real emergency.
The roof is constructed out of a lightweight concrete covering. You'll see some of the rubble here on the roof.
The Torrance Fire Department is conducting training at this soon-to-be demolished restaurant. And it's a rare chance for firefighters to train on an actual building.
Right now we're using a chainsaw, simulating as if there was a fire here in the building and cutting some ventilation holes to, if the building were to be on fire, they would be allowing the hot gases to escape.
When these gases are released, firefighters on hose lines can then find and start to extinguish the fire.
Something you don't see every day, so using this training opportunity has been a great thing for the Torrance Fire Department.
And it's an opportunity that will benefit everyone. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Alexa Sita.
Thank you, Alexa. And that soon-to-be demolished restaurant is Coco's on Hawthorne Boulevard. The restaurant will be leveled next week, making way for the new Fresh and Easy Market, the first one to open in Torrance.
The forecast for the weekend should be sunny during the day with clear skies at night. Perfect weather for spending an evening under the stars.
Almost as long as there's been a Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and they're a huge part of the community. And this is just a wonderful way.
American Honda, along with 30 different restaurants and beverage companies, will host this year's Evening Under the Stars. Workers are setting up for the annual event that raises funds for Torrance Memorial Medical Center. This now empty space will soon be filled with guests ready to have fun and do good.
A little something for everybody. Food, silent auction, entertainment. It's going to be a really great night.
Funds raised will go towards the construction of the medical center's new tower and towards their pediatric services. This is the 25th year for the Evening Under the Stars Gourmet Food and Wine Festival, and tickets are still available. Visit torrancememorial.org for more information.
A Sacramento man is the first known fatality in a 26-state outbreak of salmonella. 5 other people in California have been sickened by this outbreak that's linked to turkey. And medical experts say the strain is drug-resistant. Cases have been leaked to both fresh and frozen ground turkey. The Centers for Disease Control declined to name the 4 retail locations that sold the tainted meat, and there is no product recall yet. Instead, the country's Food Safety and Inspection Service is urging consumers to fully cook and properly prepare all turkey meat.
Call it Carmageddon Light. 6 miles of the 710 freeway will soon be closed. Crews will shut down the 710 from Atlantic Boulevard to the 105 freeway just before midnight on Friday, August 5th. It will reopen at 6 a.m. on Saturday and then will close again at 11 p.m. on Sunday until 5 a.m. on Monday. When traffic is allowed, drivers should expect fewer lanes and reduced speeds. These closures will be repeated for 9 more weekends, thankfully excluding the Labor Day weekend. The work is part of a $700 million project to smooth out the freeway's damaged roadbed. Well, up next on This Week in Torrance, we'll tell you why these residents are having block parties with an important cause.
And we'll bring you to the new exhibit at Torrance Art Museum. Those details are coming up after the break.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
G morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream of? Something I did? Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
The preteen years are a challenging time, but they're also a good time to think about your child's health, which is why, if you're the parent of an 11 or 12-year-old, you need to know about preteen vaccines. Vaccines that can protect your preteen from meningitis, whooping cough, and for girls, the virus that causes cervical cancer. So schedule a checkup for your child today and ask about preteen vaccines, because your preteen might think that they're grown up, but they're counting on you to know better.
Brought to you by DHHS and the CDC.
The 2011 Green Team employees have worked more than 5,000 hours for the city this summer, and they had a lot to celebrate at this year's luncheon. Reporter Jennifer Wade has this story.
I really got to know what people do at their jobs and like how it works, like timing, like showing up on time and what to do and timesheets and getting like your paycheck.
A partnership among TUSD, the City of Torrance, and ExxonMobil gives 45 Torrance High School students the opportunity to work for the City of Torrance. The students are celebrating the completion of the 6-week program, which teaches career training and provides mentoring.
We'd like to thank all of our supervisors. You let us teenagers into your work sites and you took us under your wings, you taught us new things, so we'd like to thank all of our supervisors.
Students worked a variety of jobs based on their career ambitions. They also learned how to dress for success, gained interviewing skills, and participated in team-building exercises, all of which left students confident about what lies ahead.
From here, I'll just go back to school and really apply the stuff that I learned and work to school life and just really focus and study what I need to study.
It's opened up a lot of doors because I have a lot more connections now.
Well, I've already applied to other jobs. Hopefully I can land them also.
For most students, the Green Team program was their first real job and their first real time earning cold, hard cash.
I've never, received that much money, and it was made out to me, so I knew it was good, though. It was a great feeling because I earned it.
It was a good opportunity to learn and make some money on the way. They paid me to learn, basically.
Students all report positive feedback about their Green Team experience, and its success is also proven in its longevity. Next year, the program will celebrate 19 years. This is Jennifer Wade for CitiCABLE.
Since 1990, the city has partnered with ExxonMobil and the Torrance Unified School District on the 6-week youth employment program. And while the program may soon change its name, it will definitely be back next year. For more information, go to exxonmobil.com.
Block parties are a good way to meet your neighbors and have fun, but they also help you learn new ways to stay safe. Reporter Jacqueline Shepard explains.
There was a party over here and a party over there. In fact, several neighborhoods throughout Torrance hosted parties in celebration of National Night Out.
It symbolized taking back the streets as a way to make a statement against crime.
There are over 200 cities in the U.S. with populations over 100,000. Of those, Torrance ranks in the top 25 safest cities in the country. Closer to home, it is the safest city south of Los Angeles. Numbers like that don't happen by chance.
It's a joint effort between the police department and the citizens to keep our city safe. We can't be everywhere at every time, So a majority of times when we have crimes in progress, it's because of citizens that call in, they see things, and they basically help us catch whoever, is doing the crime.
Block parties were organized by members of neighborhood watch programs and gave police officers a chance to come out and meet the people they protect and serve.
It reinforces that feeling of we're safe. Even though we know we have to look out for each other to keep everybody safe, these guys are coming around, they're introducing themselves, they're talking about their neighborhoods, they're talking about their jobs, and it builds a sense of community.
It feels like your little community is doing their part to help the police officers or help, battle the crime or to keep, the bad guys out.
Community watch programs are always a deterrent to crime. Block parties like these nurture relationships between officers and residents and let them know that help is just a phone call away.
When I talk to people, a lot of them I feel like I should have called or I wasn't sure if I should call. And we like to encourage them to call us because that's why we're here. We're here to help. And if they think something's not right, that's when they should call us.
But it wasn't just residents who came out to join in the fun. Local businesses came out to show their support as well.
We've been in the community, doing all this stuff with them, and we just, trying to help out, trying to bring that sense of home and balance.
Creating a safe environment for small business owners is also important to Torrance Police.
When you talk about forgery, fraud, burglaries from businesses, they really don't apply to neighborhoods, but they do apply to businesses. And there was really no way to get all the businesses together. So we implemented the Business Watch program. We modeled it after Neighborhood Watch, and it allows us to get groups of businesses together to start talking amongst themselves, but more importantly, to open lines of communication between the businesses and the police department. It's extremely important for businesses to be involved in events like this because it bridges the gap between the community and the businesses and lets everybody know what everybody else is doing and, more importantly, what everybody needs.
There was just one theme for the night: safety. And members of law enforcement made sure to let each individual know they can make a difference.
All neighborhood watch groups start with 1 or 2 people, so no matter how few people you think you have in your neighborhood, it's always important to start it because it only takes one phone call to stop a crime.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
Thank you, Jacqueline. To learn how you can join or start a neighborhood or business watch program, visit the Torrance Police Department's webpage at torranceca.gov/TPD.
When you get a baker's dozen, you can expect to get a little bit more. That's why Baker's Dozen is the perfect name for a new exhibit at the Torrance Art Museum. Reporter Shantae Passmore takes us there.
Joshua Callaghan used a table, some concrete and clay. He combined these materials with water, weeds, and wired cables. The finished product is one of the featured pieces at the Torrance Art Museum. Callaghan, along with 12 more artists, are displaying their artwork in Baker's Dozen.
Baker's Dozen is an annual show that we do, which is a review, a survey of some of the things that we think are some of the most interesting work being made in Los Angeles at any given time.
This is the museum's 3rd year featuring the exhibit.
This show is far more orientated, I think, around the craft skills of the artists, more so than in previous years. I think that there's an engagement. This is probably a little bit more abstract than some of the years before. There aren't right and wrong ways of reading it. There are different ways of reading it.
Preparing this exhibit is no easy task. In fact, it takes a year to find the right artist.
It's built from a very, very long list and then narrowed down. How somebody gets into that narrowed down list is how well they'll contribute to the overall show, whether we've got the show balanced between some of the things we think are going on out there.
That's what a Baker's Dozen is. And like a Baker's Dozen, the show has room for 13 artists. The term comes from medieval England when peasants complained that bakers shortchanged them bread.
And the king made it law that if you were found to be shortchanging people, they'd cut your hand off. And so to make sure that was never claimed, bakers started giving one more than a dozen. We thought that would be a nice fitting way of presenting a number of artists to you and saying that we're actually giving you more than you'd asked for.
This exhibit is best described as a snapshot of the finest art around. And what makes Baker's Dozen so interesting is the process behind the art selection.
If they're good and you're choosing them because they're good, we should be allowing them to select the artworks that they want to include in the show, because it reflects what they're interested in rather than what I'm interested in. Because if I did that, all it shows is my taste. All this abstraction is old ships and a rigging. Yeah, it works as an abstract painting. It talks about elements to do with art history.
And Presno believes it doesn't matter where an artist is from. What matters is giving artists a platform.
The idea is to bring the best out there to this establishment, this institution, and we just so happen to be in Torrance. This is a boon for the locals because they don't have to go anywhere and they can see the best of what's out there here.
This is Shantae Passmore reporting for CitiCABLE.
The Baker's Dozen exhibit runs at the museum until August 27th. Admission is free. For more information, go to torranceartmuseum.com. Coming up, if you love music, we've got a free event that you won't want to miss.
It's near death. A massive earthquake has rocked the city. Worst natural disaster this region has ever witnessed.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
It's your home, it's your dream. Radon test and keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
Music will soon be in the air at the 2011 Concert in the Park. Come out to Columbia Park on Sunday, August 7th, and you'll be treated to a free concert by classic rockers, the Undercover Girls Band. Bring chairs and picnics and settle in for an afternoon of music from 4 to 6 p.m. And if you want to add art to your day, come early for Art in the Park, which starts at 10 a.m. For more information, go to the city's website at torranceca.gov/events.
And speaking of music, Los Cancioneros Master Chorale will soon begin their 63rd season of performing. Now, if you would like to be a part of this award-winning vocal group, the chorale will hold auditions for new members on Tuesday, August 30th in Palos Verdes. All voices, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, are invited to audition. You must be 18 or older, and you must be able to sight read music to be accepted. To schedule your audition, call Lorraine at 310-377-4978. Remember, the deadline for making your audition appointment is Tuesday, August 23rd. And finally, living in Southern California can mean we take the sand and surf for granted. But for some troubled kids, visiting the beach is like visiting another country. Reporter Shantae Passmore introduces us to teens who step out of their comfort zones and surf into something new.
These kids may look like seasoned surfers, but some of them have never seen a surfboard, let alone the beach.
Well, these are kids from Watts that we, as a YMCA, we're just offering our services, and basically we're bringing them over here to give them a different alternative to a healthy lifestyle.
For the past 2 years, the South Bay YMCA has offered the surf camp to inner city kids. But this year, the organization decided to extend it to 2 days. The concept developed after an LAPD officer discovered the Y offered surfing lessons. Officer Scott Burkett is a Torrance resident who works in the youth program, Southeast Police Activity League, which is also known as the PAL program.
The program offers them an avenue down a different road than what is actually offered to them on the street, which is gangs, drugs, ditching school, from tagging. So we try to connect with the kids.
Police officers bond with the kids by going on field trips, and program leaders are guiding the kids away from trouble. For Art De La Rosa, he can relate all too well.
Well, I grew up in a neighborhood where It wasn't the very safest neighborhood, we'll say. And I was introduced probably when I was about 11 years old, going into junior high school to surfing. Swimmers! Gotta move this way, please. It's kept me out of trouble. Basically my mom used to drop me off here, and I'd be here from 8 to 5 o'clock every day in the summertime.
De La Rosa is now sharing his love for surfing with kids like Eliza Adame. Not too long ago, Adame's anger issues almost landed him in boot camp.
They said it wasn't for me, so then they put me in the POW program, and because I would disrespect people, so.
Adame recently started working with Officer Burkett, and since then, he says people have noticed a change in him.
At home, I'm doing much better, and I don't yell as much, and I've been more calm.
The LAPD program offers kids a chance to escape the bad influence they often see in their neighborhood. And most kids say the police officers do more than just mentor. If these kids ever need someone to talk to, Officer Burkett is only a phone call away. And this means a lot to Adame.
It means that I actually have someone to talk to about my problems, and they can help me out through it. Like Officer Burkett, I could talk to him about anything. He'll understand me. It's a cool experience.
And thanks to Officer Burkett, Adame feels confident he can overcome any waves that come his way. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Shantae Passmore.
Thank you, Shantae. The program also works with sponsors like Body Glove, who donated wetsuits. For more information on the LAPD Surf Camp, call the Torrance South Bay YMCA at 310-325-5885. That's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.